Hi there, folks. Rick back here from Tractors and Communism. It's a beautiful December day here in Curran, Ontario, Canada. I'm not sure how cold it is, but it's cold. It's dry. That's the big thing, and it's beautiful to work outside when it's dry like this. So I'll give you a quick recap of what I've done to this machine, and there's still plenty of work to do. This has turned into quite a project. I wound up replacing the oil cooler. I couldn't find someone to repair the old one, but I'm still going to keep looking, because it's a hefty piece. It's very expensive. I do have a couple more spares, but I think I like to have them just in case. My dad's put a tree branch through one or two in his day, and that can damage them. Mind you, it's a pretty good tree branch. But in any case, I've replaced that. Of course, I've done the transmission. I've resealed the top of the injector pump, and I was going to do a video on that. But there's a channel on YouTube called Buddy Bear's Shed, and this guy does a really good job of walking you through a complete teardown of, well, an almost complete teardown of the injector pump. You can go so far with it before you wind up screwing up the internals, but you can go pretty far. You can reseal the pump all yourself just by following this fella. He gives you a really good walkthrough on it. Now, I've done a couple of these, and I've wound up resealing the tops of numerous ones because they all need it eventually. The O-rings get hard. You have to replace them. So it's a quick kit. You buy a minor kit for this. I can give you the part number if you want it. And mind you, it's an aftermarket part. But it comes with the O-rings and little gaskets for the acorn nuts and the main gasket for the cover. You're better to replace it. I mean, you don't want to use any sealant in there. You just want to put the gasket on just the way you get it. And the old gaskets are always very hard. So let's see, what else have I done? I've replaced the water pump on it. The water pump wasn't so good, but I had a fairly new one sitting around. I had to replace the tack cable, but unfortunately, the tack cable I have is the wrong one. So now what I've got to do, because it doesn't work, I've got to replace it. I'll have to figure something out with that. I think I have a spare kicking around, or maybe I'll just go buy a new one. It's only $38, $40, something like that. And I've got to, one of the things that, the reason I made this video was because of this right here. When I took these apart, when I took the boom off this, I wound up finding out just how bad these were worn out. The bosses here, these were completely worn out. Here's the one down here. This is the original off the inside of this side, and that's what it looks like. That's how oval that is. That is completely destroyed. Now, at some point, this bolt and nut came loose, and that's why it was just left that way. Either that, or they took the boom off, didn't tighten the bolts when they put it back on, and this bolt was allowed to turn in here. So you have the, what I did was I went to a pair of frames in the back and I cut the bosses off the frames, inner and outer. You don't have to do that. You can go to a place like Metal Supermarket, any place that does like small quantities of steel, and they'll cut you steel rings in your size, exactly what you want, and you just weld them on both sides and you fix the problem. Basically, it's no more difficult than that. It's that easy. But it's Sunday and I had them on the frame in the back. They're very easy. It's easy to weld new ones on the frame in the back if I ever need it in the future. Although, if they crack, I just weld them again. But so far I haven't had that issue. So tomorrow I'll be putting the boom on and I'll be squaring it up with the tractor. Level the tractor, level the boom, make sure my measurements are okay, put a big 6-foot level across the booms, and we'll weld those bosses on. And then something else I found on this machine was that, that I found this out early on, but it's common. These spindles are completely destroyed. There are no bushings left in there. I don't need to take it apart to find out. They've put quite a few shims in there. I'm not really entirely sure why they did that. Doesn't need that many shims. But obviously there's no truss bearing down below any longer. So the tie rod ends, the steering knuckles, I'm betting everything's completely worn out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate whether or not a 50C axle will actually mount right in here. I have to test the pin size and whatnot. But when I find out, that's when I'll do it. I have a 50C axle here that has 2,500 hours on it. The bushings are perfect. The spindles are perfect. The knuckles are perfect. The tie rods are perfect. Everything's perfect. So I'm going to replace the entire thing. It has turned out to be quite a project, but overall it is, for all that it's been through, it's actually not in bad shape. You know, considering the fact that the cab is missing. But you replace the cab and put a backhoe on it, it's a fantastic machine. Over on this side, it's even worse. It's so worn out and ruined that whatever shims they put in there decided to cut into the tire on its way around. So I'm going to wind up replacing both tires, and I'll just keep this one good one as a spare for my machine because my machine has the same tires on it. But anyway, it's a good machine. You know, I've done a lot of work on it. It's of course that's a lot of labor, but very, very few dollars in parts. I'll get those tires swapped around and get some chains on them because realistically this is going to be a snow machine. But it does start good. Runs great. And of course it does move. That was the first thing to check. Now the pedals, everything is, the pedals, the forward reverse pedals, they were stuck. The brake pedals, the right brake pedal is still stuck, although this machine, and there's not a lot of them, this machine actually has good brakes on it. So that is one thing I'm very thankful for. So I'll keep you updated on this. Once I get it all together and working, I'll probably just take a quick video, get this pedestal off the back, and the balance of the cab is coming off there. I'm not leaving that on. I'm not going to leave the, well, you can see them over here. These are the channels to hold the backhoe unit on. But these channels, somebody made them, and they made them really bad. Like, I wouldn't trust that to hold a backhoe on here. And I certainly wouldn't trust it to hold a counterweight. So I'm going to remove those, the rest of the cab, that's all coming off. And I'll source a cab for it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to either build up another rear end, like a backhoe unit, and put the backhoe unit on this one too. So I'll have two equally good machines. This is a good machine. Like, I'm lucky that I got it. It really does. It moves well. It drives well. I've got to fix the diff lock. The diff lock lever is gone. But in any case, I'll keep you updated on this. And this just goes to show you, you know, if you got to do it, if you're low on money, you can put all used parts in that transmission if you want. Okay? As long as the clutches aren't burnt, you can put that together. As long as all your steel sealing rings are in there. You put a brand new seal, like a gasket kit, for $50. And, you know, spend a few bucks. Here's something that a lot of people don't do. Spend a few bucks and put 2 batteries in. Now, you can only fit either 2 small batteries or 1 fair size battery and 1 small battery. You can't fit 2 big batteries side by side. But hook them up well with good cables. Because if you don't, you're not going to start. Okay? I see a lot of guys with 1 single battery in there. It's a little car battery. And they get slow rollover. You need to roll over fast. If you're not rolling over quick, you're not going to do anything much. So, once if you've got 2 batteries in there and you plug that thing in for a few hours, it's fantastic. It starts up great. So once again, I'll keep you updated when I get the bosses welded on and the boom on, and give you a quick video of how it works. And I have to get the brakes, the brake pedal the right brake pedal is actually seized on the shaft, so I'm going to have to fix that, which might have to take off the foot plate. But I'll keep you updated, so thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video shortly. Thank you.